one more thing about the Trump transition. Okay. There's some polling out that was highlighted by
Patrick.
what's that guy's name?
Pat
Patrick
Ruffini.
Ruffini about the Trump transition. And there's two polls out that suggest it's popular. Okay. So I'm just putting on the table. Could this be another case? You can put the polling up just to show. It shows that Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, is like is the best fave unfave. A little hard to read, but they tested everybody, and Kennedy's got the best fave unfave. So if you're inside the Beltway or you're part of the resistance, what are you thinking about the Trump transition? 5 doom nominees. Trump is invisible. When he comes out, he sounds like a jerk, goes to some sports thing, whatever, right? And the daily coverage seems negative. I think it's possible, putting on the table. Dan, you first. If you're a normal person, what are you seeing? Trump surrounded by Bobby Kennedy, very popular guy right now. Elon Musk, legendary figure for many. Tulsi Gabbard, very well liked by many. And talking about reform, talking about unity, talking about the Avengers super team. Dr. Oz, not popular in Washington, New York in some circles, but huge following. So is it possible that the Trump transition in polling that's come out is rated positively because in fact normal people think it is going well?
Yeah, I also just think normal people don't pay attention to this. Like this is a process, like classic Beltway set of stories. He won the election. So far, no nominee has come out, kind of against or he hasn't changed course where he's saying, I'm going to do X. And now he's like, and now we're going to do Y with this person. Like, I think the average person just says he won. He's putting in charge people who he kind of, are going to execute his agenda. I do agree with you on RFK. At the end of the day, he's a Kennedy. And I think for the average person, that is a positive move by Trump, like a bipartisan move. And I think, look, some more stories about, again, alleged stories about engagement with hookers and drug use. And we'll see if that doesn't start to change things. I did see on the poll, Matt Gaetz had the lowest favorable, highest unfavorable amongst that list of people. But I think the average person there's been no news for them since the election.
Mark, one of the things there's two things that, as Dan was saying, first on the coverage of these, it's sort of like for movie buffs, when I hear the Emmys get announced or whatever, I'm like, God, I haven't seen one. There's most of the time I haven't heard of one. I think for most people, they're kind of like, outside of RFK, maybe Dr. Oz, a lot of this is just sort of like, are you enacting the agenda? And I don't really know some of these names. But I've been writing down, we keep talking about the names that Trump has announced. I'm actually equally intrigued by the names that haven't been announced. Robert Wilkie, Chad Wolf, Matt Whitaker, Rick Grinnell, Brooke Rollins, Ben Carson, Chris Miller, former acting DOD, Peter Navarro. Like, where are these guys going to? They have been loyal to the president. They have been figuring out policy for the last 4 years. Where are they? I know that they've been working, that I can't speak for everybody, obviously, about a desire to serve. But these individuals, I'm sort of intrigued by where are they in the conversation?
Right. Well, some of them, as you know, haven't gotten the jobs they wanted. And so I think are reconsidering. Some of them may end up as ambassadors, which is a place to go. Some of them could end up as deputy secretary. Some could end up in senior White House jobs. A lot of White House jobs left to pass out. Right. So
yes and no.
I mean, some that might fit for those folks. I don't believe I've gotten some texts about this because people who watch the show are good sources sometimes. I don't believe that Senator Haggerty is in the running for Treasury Secretary, even though he was touted as the front runner by a news organization called, I think, Axios, said that he's the front runner. My sources don't think that. My sources say he's out of the picture. Despite spending the day with the president yesterday, I was told that was to let him down easy as opposed to consider him for the job. That's what I'm hearing.